DLC being considered one of the hardest achievements in gaming. Now, Kaizenat considered himself a champion when he beat it during a marathon, and that's when Jinxie decided to hop on the trend, challenging himself to break Kai's record. Except 483 deaths and 48 hours later, it proved to be a little too much for him. And with XQC, he booted up WWE 2K19, picked easy mode, and then went into the tutorial. You know, a fight that's just meant to teach you the basics, and yet, Felix was struggling. Can't move! I can't move, man! Complete disaster in Minecraft. He spent 3 whole days on a solo hardcore world, and eventually even made it to the Nether. It's here where his curiosity got the best of him, as Case wondered if his spyglass would... He pretty much fails at every run, but this time would finally break him. What? Raid went on for over a minute. The funniest part is, whenever he does play League of Legends, it's just as frustrating, with him sometimes quitting. This game used to break him so much, it's actually the reason he became a variety streamer, but it still didn't get to him as bad as XQC's short-lived Valorant career. My man got humiliated so much while playing that he had to start summing up his own experience. Fallout 4 has a terminal that contains a secret reference. 3 ramps, ladders to climb, and a boss at the top throwing obstacles. Yes, the developers recreated OG Donkey Kong and Mario. And while playing Dying Light 2, you can find this strange-looking fungus. Turns out you can interact with it, pressing it enough times teleports you here. If you guessed the Harry Potter Quidditch reference, you'd be correct, but sorta. In the description, it's called Fish Quidditch. There are so many locations in House Flipper, you would never expect one of them to be a horror movie. You can be scrolling through the list only to find the Myers residence. Okay, maybe a coincidence, right? I think that's the wrong movie, but this also changes every time you look away. But the weirdest part happens when you work on the yard, because Michael is stalking you. Now, if you steal a bucket in Goat Simulator 3 and collect a bunch of sand, you can eventually build your own giant sandcastle. This thing is huge. But stepping inside is not what you'd expect. Instead, it's a complete replica of Dust 2 from CSGO. A little detail to appreciate are the ridiculous enemy names like Alessandro and Santa Claus. In the low-gravity area, both for brain damage, you can fly upwards until you're greeted by a screen. Trust me, you do not want to take no for an answer. When you reach the final screen, you can phase right through it, and your reward is Doomslayer Clutch Sheets. And Viscera Cleanup details Overgrowth level. You can head behind the greenhouse and find the suspiciously familiar lever. So what now? Well, you gotta search around the entire map looking for something to dig until you find one rock that works. There's even an iron pickaxe for grabs. One cave you don't want to explore is in Chivalry 2. You expect a dragon or something to come out and attack you, you guessed wrong. This is the same evil bunny from Minecraft, but technically they're both a reference to Monty Python. Some Easter eggs are here to distract you from developers' embarrassing mistakes. In Cyberpunk, NPCs were super broken and just kept running into this wall. So, instead of fixing the issue, the devs added a giant bloodstain and a sign for platform 9 3/4. Now the NPC's trying to get to Hogwarts. Fun fact, there's also a faded 6 on the wall, making this platform 69 3/4. They couldn't resist. Neither could the devs of Jazzpunk. Hidden in the telescope, you'll find yourself in the opening scene of James Bond. While you're swimming around in Duke Nukem Forever, you can find a pocket of air with the head of an iconic character. Duke even expresses jealousy for how much better their game turned out.
At least he got an ending.
In Viscera Cleanup, you gotta clean this place by throwing trash into a giant monster's mouth. Fans of Star Wars will instantly recognize this as the Sarlacc pit, which is already cool, but once you throw enough garbage down here... In Mr. Hobbs' Playhouse 3, this statue has a hidden button behind it, unlocking a room that transports you to a whole other world. If the Sonic fans weren't already creeped out, the plate even spins. If you explore Shadow Warrior's caves long enough, this stone wall leads you to an underground lake. The whole place is taken directly from the Half-Blood Prince. There's the boat, Drink of Despair, and even Dumbledore's wand, all to get a Horcrux. But let's just say Kratos would appreciate this tribute of Borderlands 3. In the Tazadir ruins, you can find a random wooden boat, which seems innocent until you get closer. Okay, it's pretty gross, but don't worry. This is a reference to Mimir from God of War. It's extra heartwarming when devs look back on their own games. Battlefield 3 has a building which seems pretty empty, but stick around for a while and you'll find a secret. Fans of Mirror's Edge will instantly recognize who owns them. Faith. Both of these games are made by DICE, so naturally they would want to pay tribute to their passion project. In fact, they love it so much that they've hit these shoes in almost every edition of Battlefield, like on top of a crane in 2042. Not the only secret in the sky. Riders Republic will take you all the way to an airport control tower to find one. On the roof, you can spot a wooden ramp, which seems pretty strange, but just stand on it for a while, and... You're gonna deja vu because even a hay bale at the bottom, so you can take a leap of faith. You know. While playing Deus Ex, you might come across this antique store, and head down to the basement, and you'll find its most valuable item. A little rude to call this an antique, though. Assassin's Creed Odyssey has probably the most subtle reference I've ever seen near this waterfall. Seems pretty normal until you call your bird for a better view. Any fan of Black Panther will immediately notice this as the coronation scene from the movie. Even the tribes are wearing different colored robes. Another unexpected secret is in the Talos Principle, where you can jump down a cliff and find this small cave entrance.
The road to it, hidden cave. And there it is. We've got Serious Sam.
You'd expect Han Solo to be frozen in here, but this time the devs decided to change it up with a double reference, phrasing their iconic character as Serious Sam instead. There's also a ridiculous cameo in Borderlands 3. As you're completing bounty missions, there's a chance you'll get to take out Wick and Wardy. Yeah, those guys. Still not as insane as The Witcher 3 changing the ending of your favorite show. One of the DLC quests, there's a prison overlooking the ocean, but wait until you get your hands on the key.
Deadliest horrors become the greatest prey.
What happens if we survive?
Predator, killer of killers. Rated R. Streaming Friday on Hulu and Disney Plus.
Innovation matters. But innovation that leads to better performance, that's what really matters. Bridgestone Innovation. Now all-terrain.
This exact situation happened to Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones, except that like Tyrion, this dwarf's kinda dead.
Nice idea for a prison without bars. Shame we didn't know how to fly.
In a game like Cyberpunk, it's easy to look at something like paperwork on and just probably ignore it. Well, after taking the elevator to the terrace, people explored the rooftop and found this unknown NPC sitting with a bird. Okay, now the dots are starting to connect. The origami is from Blade Runner, which also explains the whole, dead bird thing. They don't just make serious Easter eggs, but one of them is a hilarious throwback. There's a train tunnel, and right at the entrance, you'll find a crime scene. Their names make you smart, you probably get it, but if not, check out this conversation before the accident. Yeah, it's probably one of the most famous lines in gaming.
All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
In Dying Light, players discovered a crazy secret hiding on the rooftops. They're full of chimneys, but one of them is in a green pipe belonging to an old friend. It doesn't stop there. Halfway through, there's a free item waiting for you. Yes, the devs are fans of Mario's Tanuki suit. Now let's be honest, the first place you'd expect to find a horror movie is in Zombie Army 4. But come on, we all know who these guys are.
Play with us, Daddy.
If that didn't make you feel uneasy, maybe Battlefield 5 will. In the jungle, Kenai players saw a strange splatter on the leaves. That sound is way too familiar. It's the Predator stalking you, and now the green splatter makes sense. It's his glowing blood. Did you know, in the uncertain, most players don't realize you can just ignore your objective. When it asks you to find an informant, just venture down this dark alleyway instead. I know it kinda seems like a bad idea, but just wait until you open up the dumpster. Someone left behind Clementine's hat, Telltale's Walking Dead. Most players will miss that, but everyone can identify the hat and 9 child shape. As you're exploring the house, head to the children's bedroom to find a cat you will definitely recognize. Not sure what Ash Ketchum is doing here, but that's part 2 of secret references hidden in video games. It's Tommy, and keep it here on T5G. Vikkstar is pretty damn good at Warzone, so when he was taken out by a random player with insane aim, something felt kinda off. He was spectating a guy known as Mr. Slazy, but it felt like his skills were a little too impressive, and that's when they realized he was live on Facebook.
He is live. And he's cheating, bro! Oh my, this is what we got. We got heavy lobby.
Bro, he's not even trying to hide it. He's live. He's got his name in it. Turns out this guy spent weeks cheating live, but when he finally got the thousands of viewers he so desperately wanted, even the hacks couldn't stop the humiliation. Oh my god, he's still losing! He's still losing! Ow! While he was showing everyone how to cheat, one YouTuber took their entire audience for years. Shmooey was a Guitar Hero player that people genuinely labeled as the best in the world. This was barely an opinion, it was just accepted that this guy had unrivaled talent. But there's only so many world records you can hold before things turn suspicious. When Shmooey decided to take on 9 patterns of eternal pain, it looked borderline impossible to pull off. Somehow this didn't faze him. I mean, was he really that good? But that's when fans began to notice something weird. Despite all of this happening live, Windows Media Player showed up out of nowhere. Oh my god. Yeah, pretty weird, but then viewers slowed down the video and realized his fingers weren't matching the gameplay. Okay, so maybe he just pre-recorded the insane run and then pretended to do it live on the first try. Well, what if I told you he didn't actually beat the song at all? The reason Shmooey was so good, well, he used hacks to slow things down, beat songs super easily, and then speed them back up inside of the recording. This led fans down a massive rabbit hole and they scrambled to check all his other videos. Surely he wasn't cheating this whole time, right? Yeah, bad news. This pattern was found across nearly all of his content, around 100 fake videos total. Now, he did make an apology for this, but eventually deleted all his videos, privated socials, and has since disappeared from the Guitar Hero community. And he's not the only cheater to be exposed. A pro player named GMZ was playing Rainbow Six when he noticed an enemy acting super weird. The suspicious player was apparently wall hacking, and when GMZ confronted him, they got into a little argument. So clearly this guy is now super cocky and even tells GMZ to come check his stream out. The enemy confidently hands over his Twitch username to prove his innocence, except this guy has no idea he's literally broadcasting hacks. What? Now, he was blatantly cheating, but some hackers are a lot harder to spot, like the Austin US. This guy had a ridiculously impressive KD on Call of Duty, and at one point it was 4.8, which is kinda insane. This was just the start of his journey, as Austin began to stream his gameplay, trying to get more attention for his skills. I mean, fair enough, if you're that good at the game, why not show it off? Except, this is when viewers began to pick up on something odd. Austin somehow knew exactly where enemies were coming from. It's not the internet. YouTubers like Itapa and Cotton4K called out Austin for wall hacking, as the clips of the stream were just too good to be true. So in response, Austin quickly deleted all of his recordings from Twitch, but not before someone found a bombshell. In one of his very first streams, we could actually see him on Cheat's website as he logged into his account and viewed the order history. My man literally got caught in 4K. It's moments like this that make you wonder, why do people even cheat? Especially if you're already good at your job like Beccarazia. Now this streamer was already a popular speedrunner, yet he decided to throw all of that away when he got an invite to the Vegas speedrunning charity event, Games Done Quick. Everything was going smoothly until the donations hit a milestone, and now we had to play the Metal Gear DLC. The current record was beating the whole thing in 7 minutes and 20 seconds. Pretty fast, so the last thing viewers expected was for Beccarazia to pull off this insane time.
Looks like a 655.
Holy the world record. Yes, but hey, can we like not use the world record stuff, right? Because like it seems very misleading, and it assumes that the video that I've done here is the fastest time.
Yeah, probably the strangest reaction to beating a world record I've ever seen, and the chat was equally as confused. Something was really off about this, and viewers couldn't figure out why, so they went back and analyzed the speedrun. Just 1 minute into the DLC, and Beccarazia have done something weird.
It's actually pretty hard to get past this graph because he has an ISO, it's like...
Now, it may seem like nothing important happened here, but it was the most revealing part of all. He scratched the back of his head while turning the camera. How could he be lifting his right arm while also moving the mouse? Yeah, this was pretty much impossible. It's not like you could argue the camera was flipped. I mean, his t-shirt had the logo on. So, you're probably wondering what his explanation was for this.
I'll just move the mouse with my left hand, also different experience.
Now that is a good excuse, right? Well, a couple months passed, and I guess he was starting to feel super guilty because he messaged the organizers behind the event exposing everything. Hey, the Blade Wolf DLC run people paid for is a pre-recorded segment. I've done an actual bad thing, and I shouldn't have done this on the event. I'm sorry for doing the thing I've done, truly. Basically, he pre-recorded the entire run, perfectly splicing together the best moments of each game. His admission was a huge scandal, causing GDQ to remove any mention of his name from their channel and ban him from all future events. A lesser-known game, though, is Krunker. You might have played this back when it was on Steam, but it was originally a browser game, so it was super easy to hack. Now most players get away with it, except for PYPY. He was out there streaming on Twitch without a care in the world, showing everyone just how easy it was to cheat. Other players quickly picked up on this and exposed him on Reddit, where it got the attention of the last people he wanted, the developers. They wanted to embarrass him, but in a harmless way, because at the end of the day, he's just a kid. His punishment obviously included the ban, but for anyone who went to his profile, they'd see the word hacker in blood red. Yeah, I think that was enough to make him learn his lesson, because he quickly deleted his Switch afterwards. But one of the craziest punishments of all time happened live in the middle of a huge CSGO tournament. During a match between Hellraisers and Team Property, one of the players Emilio suddenly vanished, shocking the commentators.
Did Emilio just get backbanned?
What?
Tier 3, we are live. QA, take a deep breath, and let's roll. Wish you had a professional business address and phone number instead of your home address and personal number? Are you looking to register your business?
PGL Major Qualifier 3. We are live. Dewey, take a deep breath and let's roll.
Now, he was pretty excited to redeem himself. The original ban was over a decade ago, and Emilio just wanted to get back into the scene with a fresh start. Except, of course, players began to notice something suspicious. Whoa. Did you catch that? Yeah. Let me show those eliminations in slow motion, and now pay attention to the hand. The gun flicks before he even moves the mouse, but I have to admit, this one could have easily been webcam delay. While it was never confirmed that Emilio returned to cheating, one thing's for sure, he wasn't meant to be in the tournament. It wasn't too long before Valve got wind of this.
Defuse. Hey, I crashed. Why?
The lesson here, fact bans absolutely suck, and don't cheat in your favorite games unless you want to ruin them for the rest of your life. Or maybe you're just trying to impress your favorite streamer. When Jinxie was checking out one of his viewers' Rainbow Six highlights, one of them stood out amongst the rest.
Wait, this guy has a dog in his name. What's going on?
Hopefully this point. I just got locked out of my account! Hold on, I think...
Spoiler alert, he wasn't locked out. He was literally banned from Fortnite. Quinn immediately uploaded a video where he was confident it was a mistake by Epic.
I'm 99.9% sure I'll be unbanned. Obviously, because I never actually did anything wrong.
Well, he probably should have come clean because rumors started circulating that he was using Apex all along. And this is when fans began to dig up old streams where they found something weird on the desktop. And probably the dumbest way you could be exposed, Quinn literally had multiple hacking programs right on his computer. Despite claiming he was only testing them in 2019, one of them literally said April 2020. Yikes. Corey Kenshin was playing Death Trips, an insanely creepy game made worse when he realized the psycho was stalking him. Uh-oh. Okay.